How's it going? I'm here with John, or Unyshek, as he's known online. If you could introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, Junyszek. I'm the community manager at 343 Industries, working on Halo. I go by Uni, which is just an abbreviation of my last name, shortened version of my last name. It's easier than trying to actually write out or spell out my actual name because it's pretty darn confusing. But community member, now community manager, that's working on his favorite game.
Cool. So I wanted to dive into that. So I've known you for quite some time now. We used to make YouTube videos together. We used to play a lot of Halo together. So I'm very curious to hear your story of going from community member to community manager and what that has been like. So I think the kicking it off, what was your journey there? Like, what was your initial? This is kind of what I want to do. Did it just kind of fall in your lap, or how'd that happen?
It was always something I wanted to do, right? If you're a Halo fan, you want to work on Halo. If you're a fan of any game, you want to see what would it take to work on that game. And I was just forever ago when I was starting to make YouTube videos, I was like, you know what? I think there's a gap in the YouTube scene where I could make these kinds of videos. I was doing like kind of multiplayer instruction videos. And I was like, if 343 notices and like it can be a cool bridge to the studio, awesome, right? But it's like a 1 in a million chance, right? So I was just like, I want to make YouTube videos to make YouTube videos. But there was always that kind of lingering thing of what if, right? Is it possible? And we had known, yes, it is possible with Bravo making the jump and a few other community people getting hired to the community team. And then just after a few years of making YouTube videos, going to events, meeting people like you at those events, like I started to get a really good groove and like vibe with the community team. I was super active on YouTube. I eventually became a moderator on the Halo subreddit, was trying to be a positive force in every aspect of the Halo community wherever I could. And then eventually there was an opening on the community team. And I was like, you know what? I'll toss my hat in the ring, right? Let's see if I've put in enough work, I guess, into the community. And I guess the people interviewing me determined I had. And it was a long journey of just being active in the community at a very high level for many years. And then a spot opened up on the team, and I happened to be the person that got it. So a lot of work, and then right time at the right place.
What would you say is the biggest learning curve of that? Because obviously working at, an actual company is a very different thing than being, self-employed and just creating content, right? So what would you say is the biggest learning curve? What was the biggest thing that you didn't expect that you're like, whoa, this is different?
On top of having to learn even more of the just Microsoft Office suite for your business manage, like just actual emails, calendars, managing all of that, which I hadn't had a bunch of experience with before. I would say the jump to actually being at a game studio and understanding the production of a game was by far the biggest learning curve. I'm still learning. It's a whole other beast that you don't really get to appreciate until you actually get on the inside and take a look at how it's being run, how many people it takes to actually make things happen, especially on a game like Halo.
How much of your average day, is filled with meetings?
Oh, I have my calendar up here. I can take a look. 3/4 of my 9 to 5 is meetings right now. A lot of that I would say is probably because of COVID and working from home. It used to be a little more open because I could just swing by someone's desk. You didn't have to set up a call like, will you be free at this time?
That's a perfect segue. Do you think that this work from home format of, again, scheduling out meetings and just really having that day more planned, has it helped productivity?
For I can't speak to everyone, but for me, I would say I might say no.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's helped. Uh, I really liked being in the office. Uh, I loved and thrived, I would say, in that setting. When I came in through the doors, I was like, all right, it's work time until I leave the studio and start my journey home. And now it's kind of like a weird mishmash of I'm gonna do my stuff that I need to take care of in real life. I'm gonna do my work stuff, and I've definitely gotten more and more accustomed to it. I didn't think it was that bad of a transition, but I still think there was definitely a learning curve. And now I'm like I'm hitting a good stride, but I just miss working in the studio. It's nice to see people. You can handle things with face to face conversations way faster. Uh, yeah, it maybe in terms of scheduling out my day, it's helped, but in terms of overall execution, to be determined. We'll see. We'll see over the next 6 months if I've like I guess gotten even better.
343 has a bunch of different community managers. All of them, at least to the public, are essentially just community managers and don't really have a more specified role. What is it like working with a team like that, this microcosm that all do a similar thing?
It's fun. It's good because Halo is such a massive franchise that it would be impossible for only one or two people to try and handle it all. We've got Sketch, we've got me, we've got Sam, we've got Andy who just joined the team, and Tyler Postums, and then we also have a producer who kind of coordinates all of us to make sure we're uh, staying on target, making sure we're our teams that are counting on us, we're getting them our deliverables on time, and things are going out on social on time and all that stuff. It's a lot. Like we have MCC live, we have Halo 5 live, we've got MCC titles coming to PC on top of like sustaining the game. We have new stuff coming all the time. We have Infinite coming out. So there is a lot to work on. And each person kind of finds their groove and works on specific things. And we just all fall under that community umbrella pretty darn well, I'd say. I don't know if it's just because we get along as individuals or what, but it's a nice balance, and it's nice to not have to worry about absolutely everything all the time when I can be like, all right, uh, Snickerdoodle's got it, Sketch's got it, Postum's got it, right? And then I can just continue working on whatever I need to work on. And nothing ever gets dropped and everyone's hitting the right things, It's good.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining me. I wanted to call out that we both have the Halo 3 Master Chief helmet rocking in the background there. cut from the same cloth. It's a Halo fan thing, right? Like when you're a Halo fan, I think Star Wars is the same, right? Like you can't call yourself, well, I'm gatekeeping right there, right? You can't call yourself a Halo fan if you're not rocking a bunch of Halos. So you can't even avoid it. You see it, you're like, I gotta buy that. Yeah. I need that.
I actually didn't have the Halo 3 Legendary back in the day. Because it came out when we were in like high school. I didn't have money to buy a legendary edition of Halo 3. So I actually got that after I graduated and started making some more YouTube videos. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted it. I'll buy one on eBay. So I just bought the helmet off of eBay. But then actually, if you look a little to the side there, when I got to 343 had a few unopened Halo 3 Legendary editions in like the back storage units, and occasionally we'll pull those out for giveaways for charity or at like picnics and stuff like that. And I actually won this, I want to say on a 343 day a few years back. I got a unopened Halo 3 Legendary edition. So I have technically two helmets, but one is unopened and the other one, as you can see, proudly on display.